Staying with our commitment now to keep you informed during Decision 2024. When voters cast their ballots this year, you'll be asked to vote on Prop 312. This is a statewide ballot measure dealing with homelessness and taxes. If it passes, property owners will be allowed to apply for a refund on their property taxes if their local government, city or county, doesn't enforce laws on camping, panhandling, and loitering. The issue was put on the ballot by the Arizona legislature primarily because of fallout from this huge homeless encampment known as the Zone in downtown Phoenix. So business owners had to sue the city of Phoenix to enforce its own camping and vagrancy laws. So there are groups who oppose this measure. We are in discussion to bring them into our studio to share their view. But today we are talking with Arizona Chamber of Commerce President Danny Seiden, who is supporting Prop 312 along with your organization. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Troy. Yeah, happy to talk.
All right, why does the Chamber support 312?
When municipalities fail to enforce laws around vandalism, nuisance, things that lower the property values, the people who shoulder the costs are the private property owners. So for far too long, not everyone can afford to sue a city to do its job. So we want to make it easier for all property owners to know that when they call the police, when they request help, when they request things that are not just, it's dangerous. I mean, public safety and safe neighborhoods are essential to a good, thriving business community. You know, if we don't act now, if we don't do something different, we're going to be San Francisco and Los Angeles pretty soon.
So give me a for instance. What's happening? We saw the Zone, but what else is happening in Phoenix and beyond?
There's several instances of some of the nicer, we'll call them convenience stores, gas stations, retail locations, where they'll call the police and say, hey, we have a homeless person who's come on, they're doing drugs, what do we do? They don't show up. They really don't show up. They're having, not getting their emergencies responded to. And then again, they have to shoulder the cost for any kind of cleanup or liability that happens. They're having to hire off-duty security guards to watch their property at all times, when, by the way, that's what property tax dollars are for. So again, this is renewing the commitment from the municipalities to the property owners that they know when they pick up the phone and call for help, someone will answer.
So opponents are saying, you know, you talk about, say, a QT store, that's got to be a big property tax bill. So the city's just going to be stroking a check, and won't that money come from other services that could be used to help the homeless?
I would argue this will show the cities what the priorities are. People want safety. They want clean, safe neighborhoods. And by the way, it does a homeless person no good to be ignored by the city either. So when a property owner calls and asks for help, if the city shows up, we can get them into services. We can get them into transitional housing with great partners like St. Vincent de Paul. So again, our members care, whether it's a QT, a Target, anyone, they all care about this homeless population. But when the city doesn't respond, there's nothing they can do. And ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It only makes it worse.
And the opponents also say, why aren't we seeing a prop on the ballot that says, here's a certain amount of money for homeless people to come through?
Yes, and again, I'll tell you, the private sector and charitable giving has never been higher in this regard. They've done everything they can. But again, ignoring them when they're on your property, committing crimes that drives the value down. I mean, we have a study that shows this costs private property owners $2 billion. $2 billion to fix their own vandalism, to fix what is done from the nuisance, what is done just in terms of cleanup of waste. I mean, all of that falling on them when they pay property tax dollars for that, it's not right.
What do you think happens if this does not pass?
If this does not pass, I think you'll see more lawsuits, unfortunately. I think you'll see more and more private businesses using nuisance litigation to go after cities, and that's not good either. We want a system that prioritizes the health and safety of our neighborhoods.
And let's shift gears. We've got about 45 seconds left. You have kind of an overall look of the business climate here in Arizona. What's 2024 and 2025 look like, the rest of this year and next?
Sure. Right now, we have a lot of good news on the way still. We have a lot of investment coming in, still built around that ecosystem of semiconductors. TSMC at $65 billion. More and more announcements are on their way. Out in the Scottsdale area, we have ASM and a lot of investments coming in from the Netherlands. So there'll be some good news on the way. There is a little bit of a tightening in certain areas right now. You're seeing some rifts, some layoffs from the. I would argue it's inflation, and it's kind of a readjustment of, you know, post-COVID, where there was a buildup of a need for supply. When we have a big inventory, once that's cleared out, there'll be some readjusting. But the good news is unemployment rate is at a record low. Labor and participation rates at a record high. So all that's really good news right now. So
Thank you so much for coming.
Congratulations, appreciate it. Yeah.
See you again soon. Yeah. All right, Trim.